recently bagged some clearance boxes from the wonderful Scrawler box. I love a good art supply surprise, and this box couldn't have been better timed for me, even though it was released almost 2 years ago. This box was from July 21 and it came with alcohol inks. Now, I've only ever tried alcohol inks with resin before, so using this for art was actually going to be a really new process for me. And let me tell you, I loved it. The box had 2 gorgeous colours of inks and also a wonderfully sparkly medium to go with the colours. It also has an extender, a brush and a straw to make some great effects in the alcohol. Now, whilst I explore using these inks, I want to tell you more about why these art supplies are actually really well timed for me. Alcohol inks and using them is all about letting go of control and moving with the flow. The wonderful thing about alcohol inks in this medium is that they really have a mind of their own. The more you try to force it or control it, the more difficulty you actually have when it comes to creating a piece. Now, lately as an artist, I've been trying more and more to force my art and my business in a specific direction, without actually having a specific direction or dedicated goal in mind. So every time I've been trying to push one way, I've either met resistance or ended up making more of a mess. And the result of that has been I've been trying to push more and more in multiple directions, and that only makes it even more messy. When I first attempted this medium, I found myself trying way too hard. I was rushing, I was trying to wrestle with the drying alcohol, forcing ink and colours in directions opposite to where they wanted to go. And I realised that was a symbol for how I've been in my art and my business. I've been juggling too much, shoehorning myself into positions that didn't suit me, and honestly, I've been burning out. When I recognised this in my attempt with alcohol inks, I changed my behaviour. I stopped fighting the inks and I started to slow down. I enjoyed watching the ink find its own way. I let the shimmer dance as it settled on the page. The shapes came together, and I saw that that's what my art and my business needs to be. A dance of different aspects coming together in their own way and time. As the inks dried, they each took their own shape upon the page, and no matter how much I tried to control or force it, there was no way of making the inks exactly how I wanted them to be. And you know what? It didn't matter anyway. They all turned out so beautiful and unique. The poetry of using this medium to unwind and allow myself to see my future through the drop of ink was therapy that I didn't know I needed. All I set out to do was to try something new. After all, it's one of the things that I encourage fellow artists to do with my Empowered Artist digital bundle, especially if they're feeling stuck or borderline burnt out. Trying something new doesn't just help develop your style or help you find new skills. It helps you to see the world at a new angle. It gives you inspiration, and it takes the pressure off continuing down a path of high resistance. My advice and encouragement for you is that if you're feeling like nothing is working, or that you're blocked and without direction, then try something new. Go down a completely different vein. Let your mind be inspired by something you've never tried before. Maybe even give alcohol inks a go. I've popped a link to grab some from Amazon in my description if that's something that you want to do. But ultimately, I don't want you to be too hard on yourself. Remember that everything is a journey, and the more that you force it, the more exhausted and burnt out you will become. Everything will work out. And whilst it might not look exactly how you intended it to, it doesn't mean that it's not beautiful or unique and completely right all the same. I want to encourage you to watch this video and witness how everything comes together in time, how the uniqueness of each of these alcohol ink pages can be turned into beautiful illustrations. As challenged to do so by Scrawlerbox, I turn them all into space nebulas. The wonderful thing about the sky is how much it seems to reflect the sea, so I add little details like space whales, space sharks, space jellyfish, all kinds of creatures that I see as a part of the illustrations and the ink that comes together to form these kind of crazy shapes. I'll be adding each of these finished illustrations to my website for sale, in case you fancy grabbing one for yourself. They'll only be €15 each. There'll be a beautiful reminder for you to embrace your unique individuality as a creative being. I'll leave you to enjoy me adding the individual details to each of these illustrations, and I'll check back in with you at the end. Enjoy! I really hope you enjoyed this process video. It was such fun to try out a new medium that wasn't just beautiful to use, but helped me to see my art in a completely different way. So go ahead and check out the links in my description if you want to grab one of these individual illustrations for yourself. You can also grab some alcohol inks for yourself if you want to give them a go. As always, if you're an artist who is looking for tips, tricks, inspiration and advice on being an artist, then I'd love it so much if you considered subscribing to this channel. Please consider also giving a thumbs up and leaving a comment below if this kind of video is something that you like. It was such a pleasure to share this with you, and I hope to see you again for the next video. Goodbye guys.